When we think about the revenue tech stack, we think of three main pillars: sales, marketing, and service. In this video, I want to share the overwhelming breadth of the revenue tech stack today and some tips on how to navigate it. We're going to start with the CRM, the core of your revenue tech stack, and then from a high level, talk about the broader landscape for additional sales, marketing, and service tools. We're only going to scrape the surface though, and we'll go into greater detail on sales, service, and marketing in separate videos. Okay, so let's start by focusing on the core, the foundation, which is our CRM. Salesforce has the largest market share in all three categories: sales, service, and marketing, but there are many other options for each of these as well, many that integrate with Salesforce. We can make the case that no integration, no matter how good, will be as good and as reliable as being on one single platform. But there are many reasons companies choose other options for service and/or marketing, including simple loyalty to a platform their team already knows and loves. Either way, whichever direction you go, you should think of your sales CRM, your email marketing tool, and your case or ticket management system as the core of your revenue tech stack. This is where a 360-degree view of your customer starts, and to the extent that your team can see all sales, marketing, and service information in one place, everyone will be more efficient and more effective. Now, before we go too far on additional tools, we need to talk about when and how you can integrate them. I went over this in detail in another video, so check that out if you want to see more. But in summary, you have four basic options. The Salesforce AppExchange is always the first place we look to see if the system we want to integrate already has a pre-built integration. If we don't find anything there, we can look at the provider's website, as many of these systems will have integrations with Salesforce that sit inside their tool rather than inside of Salesforce. If neither of these are available, you're looking at building a custom integration, whether it's having a team of developers write code to connect the dots or using an integration tool to connect two or more systems. The important thing to remember here is that every integration is different. People often assume that if there's an integration, they can see 100% of the data they want to see in both systems, and it's rarely that simple. We encourage you to do your homework and make sure that the integration you're looking at provides the data and the functionality that you need. Okay, so now that we have integrations covered, let's talk about the rest of the revenue tech stack. According to Sales Hacker, there are almost 1,000 different vendors in the sales tech stack alone, and they break that into 5 main categories: engagement, productivity and enablement, sales intelligence, pipeline and analytics, and finally people management. I'll go over this in more detail in a separate video, but suffice to say this is a lot to digest. And it's just as overwhelming when we look at the marketing technology landscape and the service technology landscape as well, especially if we're including project management, account management, and all the other things that go into serving your existing customers. So where do we start? Well, we need to start with the business process. In other videos, I talked about the importance of mapping the company vision and strategy to the step-by-step, channel-by-channel business process. All of these should be mapped out and aligned before we start buying and implementing expensive tools. If we skip over that step, we may find ourselves with an amazing tool to execute a business process that does not align with our strategy and ultimately won't help us achieve our vision. I know this sounds obvious, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen people implement tools that they just don't need by failing to sit down with leadership and align with them on their vision and strategy. Then, when adoption struggles or more budget is needed to make it work, leadership fails to provide any support and the initiative is abandoned. When we map out our vision to our strategy, business process, and KPIs, we can start to ask ourselves the right questions. Where are our greatest inefficiencies? Where are people losing the most time to processes that could be streamlined with technology? Where are our greatest opportunities to improve effectiveness and performance? What is currently slipping through the cracks right now? And what would impact revenue the most if we could improve it? And finally, what KPIs do we need to measure, and how can we do a better job of getting visibility into the business and driving the actions we need to execute the business process? Setting this foundation will allow you to identify gaps to fill and help you build a revenue tech stack that actually helps grow revenue. If you'd like to learn more, reach out to me to schedule a call and/or check out some of our other videos on our website, LinkedIn, or YouTube.